Hey, hey. I feel like I forgot something. You know what I forgot? I forgot my Mr. Clean sponges. Hello. It's okay. It's like on the top of the shelf in the closet in Damar's room. That's why I didn't have it because I was gonna get it later. And I have some that aren't that one, but I don't know where. Are you gonna get it for me? How many do you need? I just need one, but the whole thing is up there. You can bring all of them out here though, babe. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you guys so much for joining tonight. Sorry. Let me make sure my mic is right. And it is the wrong mic. There we go. Is that better? Does it sound better? Hey, Lunchbox lady, how are you doing? Hey, Lynn. Good evening. Good evening. Hey, Connie, how are you? I hope you are better this week, Miss Connie. I'm excited for tonight, you guys. I've been working in my laboratory. And so I have something fun to share. Hopefully, I think it's fun. We'll see. I'm actually going to take a poll to see if you guys think it's fun. We'll see in a little bit. Make sure I have everything that I need. David is going to grab one thing for me. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you, baby. It's a whole brick. So you guys know the Mr. Clean sponges that you can get. You know that you can buy, what are they called? They're called melamine sponges, and you can get probably for as much as you spend for like two sponges, you can get a whole pack on Amazon of melamine sponges. Now, I will say that these are not as dense as the Mr. Cleans, but they work really well. So I just needed one, but it's okay, babe. Now I can put these away out here, and I'll know where they are. But welcome, welcome to Chatting and Crafting with Royce and David. Hey, oh, let me know if that air conditioner is loud. It is loud for me. Can we turn it off for a little bit, babe, or are you hot? Okay. First, I was just doing laundry. Okay. But if you cool off at any point, let me know, okay? And we can consider turning it off. Or you can just project. I know, I'm projecting. I'm projecting. Um, you can't see the cat. What cat? Huh? You can't hear the AC? Okay, good, 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 good. Very good. So, oh, you want to say hi to everybody, babe? I really don't get very many people. I just got on. Okay. So why don't we wait a little bit and then I'll do it? Okay. If you are new here, my name is Royce Hunt, and the voice that you barely hear behind the camera is my husband, David Bell, and together we make up Recycled Treasures. We meet here every Sunday for chatting and crafting, although the ladies have noticed, baby, that you're not very chatty lately. We had the man with us last night. I know. You might, can you, if you move a little closer, it might be easier to hear you too. Man, that's the, what do you call, closed captioning's picking me up. Oh, okay. So I'm assuming it's here. Okay, you guys can hear David okay? Yeah, we don't have the little one this week, so although he told on you, he's like, Grandpa's playing the game. The cameras look good today. What happened? I don't know. But they both look really sharp now. Really crisp. When you go to your overhead, you'll see. Yeah, the overhead should be the better looking camera. But they both look really good today. Oh, very good. Yeah, very wide angle. Your cinema scope right now. Well, I'm using the camera from the laptop. So before I tried to use the other webcam, but for some reason that USB port on the other side of the laptop isn't picking it up. And I'm tired of fighting with it, so yeah, I've given up. No, I think it looks better. Oh, okay. I mean, it's widescreen. Yes. But it legitimately looks good. Let me add an extra camera now. All right, so let's see. We have on YouTube Lunchbox Lady, Karen Nance, and Tim Lamar. And as far as I can tell so far, on Facebook. I have Lynn Poliano or Fagliano, Melissa Berker-Visitman, or Johnny Doyle, Karen Moyer, and Kathleen O'Brien Lucas. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. I'm like legitimately really excited about tonight's project. I'm going to show you guys a sample. So inside of our membership, they have been so nice in letting me reverse it. You've got your overhead and circle. Oh. While Royce is doing that, can I ask everybody to share if you're on Facebook? Make a comment, even if it's just to say hello. Hit an emoji, it helps. It really does. Yeah. And on YouTube, if you would subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, you can customize your notifications. That really does help, as does a comment. It sounds weird, but comments help on every platform. Yeah, because that's like active engagement. That's what all the platforms define. I'm going to try to see if I can wipe that off. So we've been working on this box. This will be our third week now. We use the bookish bookends. Look, I got stuff all over the place today. You guys will see what happened. We used our bookish bookends to make this side of the box. Last week, we decoupaged with the recycled tatter tapestry decoupage paper, and we used one of the new gilded transfers from the title page. And today, you guys, we're going to be doing some faux leather. I've already done this one so we can paint it together, but we're going to do a sample board together, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So some of you who've been with me for a while, you guys probably took my faux leather course years ago, where we painted fabric to look and feel just like leather. So I'm kind of taking the same principle and applying it to hard surfaces. And so we did this inside of our membership, where we took this board, we applied some texture, and then using paints and glazes, I made it look like leather. So my goal is to make the other side of our bookish magazine holder look like it's a leather bound book. I want to show you guys something. So when I went on Pinterest, whenever I'm trying to make a faux finish, I always try to find photos of what I'm trying to copy as inspiration. And when I went on Pinterest, these are not my photos, these are photos from Pinterest. These are the books that really, I fell in love with these books. And so you guys can see that they're all like really old leather bound books. And even though they're different colors, the thing that they have in common is they kind of have debossed, I guess is what it's called, because they're impressions in the leather, and then it looks like leather. So my goal today is for us to create that same look on our box, and I'll show you guys how we're going to do that. So I'll be using super quick babe. I'll be using several things today, and then we can go. I'm going to be using PensArt's structure paste today, and that's what we're going to use to make our texture. And I'm going to be using the IOD Rivery stamp. You guys know what? When I pulled this stamp out, I was like, wait, why haven't I been using this stamp? It has so many yummy bits. I needed a stamp with a bunch of fiddly bits on it. And this one is perfect. So I'll be using this. I have some cornstarch in my little cup right here. My little Dollar Tree makeup brush. I like to use this to dust my stuff because it's really soft. I have some saran wrap, which I've already dusted here. And then I'm going to be using some goldenrod paint. And this is the color of it. But I know inside of our membership, there's conversations about other brands and other colors paints that you can use. I believe Flea liked cake batter, but Melissa liked a different color in DIY. So just a gold color paint, right? And I'm going to be pairing that with PensArt's Decor. This is burgundy. They're chalky paints. And then I have this Lazure glaze in Palisander. I don't know how to say that, but these two. And I'm working possibly with Megan on building a kit to show you guys how to, well, not show you guys, just so you guys can have what you need to be able to create this finish. And so I'm going to do a poll in a little bit to see if there's enough interest for us to like really move forward doing it. Because if nobody wants it, then like, why are we going to do it, right? But if you guys are interested in the kit, that would be awesome. So I'm going to start by laying my structure paste over my substrate. And this is just a board that I have here. And then we'll go through the steps on how to use the texture and your stamps to make your debossed surface. And then we'll paint the book or our project together because it's already been done. Okay, babe, I'm sorry.
All right, so let's see. Like catch it up. A gift from a maker said hello, which turns out to be
that's Lee, yeah,
and Ken in sunny Santa Barbara. Then she went to a personal page. What's your business page? It's okay.
Yeah,
we like that.
We know who you are.
Let's see. Karen Moyer says that looks deeper in color than when you finished on Monday. And Mad Scientist Monday, did you add anything?
I didn't. I just left it just like that.
Yeah. Vicky Valdez Green says, came home for my niece's graduation party last night. I find a package on the porch. Thank you so much for the prizes as well as the opportunity to take part in the challenge.
You are so welcome. And for those of you who got your prize package and you see on there a list that you still get a mystery box from Pent Art, I still need to like email Megan the list of winners. So that's on me, but she'll be getting those out to you guys too. Okay, sorry, but
Jenny Marmion is sitting in the hospital watching you. She's having an appendectomy tomorrow morning.
Oh my goodness. Prayers, Miss Jenny, that everything goes well. And I am so fired. I still haven't even we need to schedule a call after you get better.
Let's see. Lee says, I like DIY green tea. Melissa suggested cake batter.
Oh, okay.
Now I need to order cake batter to see the difference. Karen Warrior says to Jenny, tell them to make it quick tomorrow so you can join Mad Scientist Monday. Let's see. And there we go. That's our catch up. And everybody who joined subsequently, hello.
Hello, hello. So I have my little sample board here. One side of the board is smooth. And if I were using this texture on a smooth surface like this, I would start with the texture primer by Pent Art because it's like super grainy and it'll create too for your product to adhere to. But I'm going to be using the rough side because we don't have time. I mean, I'm cutting corners because we want to get done. So you guys, I have fallen in love with this paste because it's like solid, but it's not solid. I don't know how to explain it. I kind of feel like it's kinetic sand a little bit in that it's liquid, but when you touch it, it's solid. I don't know. It's groovy. But I am just going to spread this over my surface. And if I had to say how deep it was, I would say like 1/8 of an inch would be good because you want it to be deep enough that you can push your impressions into, right? But you don't want it to be like too deep. So it's one of those things that you may have to do it a few times to get like a real feel for how deep you want it. But you guys see how easy that's spreading? And even though it's spreading easy, it's like solid. I don't know how to explain it. I like it a lot. See what I mean? It's like solid, but it's, whoops, right? It's not like runny at all, but it still spreads super easy. I don't know.
Sort of like frosting?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess the texture of it too. It has a lot of texture to it though, but yes. So I'm just going to spread this on here. And again, if I had to like 1/8 of an inch is what I would say is a good depth. I'm not measuring, of course. I'm just like eyeballing it because you guys know me. And what happens if you don't make it deep enough? I'm actually going to show you guys because I have a part of my book that wasn't as deep as the rest. And so for what I'm working on, it's fine because I want my book to look like it's old and worn. So those imperfections will add to that. And I am just using a cake froster spatula thingy to spread that on there. So I have it all spread on there. White is so hard sometimes. You guys can see that, right? And I'm going to put that spatula white in water. You guys do not want to let this stuff dry on your tools because there's no coming back if it dries on there. Just telling you. So I have this piece of saran wrap, and you guys can see it's dusty. I'm going to show you guys.
Jane Palante just joined. She asked, what are you working with?
Hey, Jane. I'm using the structure paste from Pins Art tonight, and we're going to do some faux leather on our book tonight. And I am dusting my plastic, and I'm being really generous because I don't want this to stick to my board.
Oh, when you wanted the folks to chime in on something, what did you want?
I kind of want to show it first and then ask them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have a poll. I'm going to do it a little bit to see if you guys would like a kit with what you need to be able to create this finish. But I figured I'd show you guys the finish first, right?
And that's for everybody who says I have not been listening.
Oh,
that's you. Mainly.
That's me mainly?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Music, you not listening.
Baby, you know you was playing that game. It's okay.
I know, I keep losing too.
So I have this spread, and it's a little bit too tacky yet for me to start. So I'm going to go in with my dryer, and I'm going to dry it. I don't want to dry all of it. I just want the surface to be dry. And the reason why I want the surface to be dry is because when I push my stamps into it, if it's a little wet, it like picks up when you pick your stamps up, and you don't end up with like a really nice clean stamp. And so I really do want this to be dry. But I don't want all of it. I don't want underneath to be dry, just the surface to be dry. And I made the suggestion that the Reverie stamp, honestly, like 90% of the pieces on here work beautifully with this process. But if you're looking through your stamps and you're trying to figure out if you have some stamps that will work with this, look for stamps that have a lot of space in between. If it's like a really detailed stamp, then you'll just get like a solid mass. Like this stamp right here is out of the new IOD stamp, and it has a lot of details on the circle. But when I tried to use it, I just got like a real mass, right? Because the clay is not going to pick up those teeny tiny details. So you may have to like do a little experimenting to figure out what will work. But look for the stamps that don't have as much detail. But this stamp works really well. This is one out of the new one. This one works really well too. So I am just drying the surface. And what you can do is you can go over it with your hands. And if you feel an area that's really cold, or if it lifts up on your hand like that, you'll know that that area is not ready yet.
Okay, so we have a few comments. One is a question. Kathleen Hugas, was that cornstarch you dusted with?
Yes.
Melissa Berkovich, then yes, I want a kid. For Johnny Doyle, yes, I'm kids.
Okay, I'm gonna do a poll, you guys. So wait, okay? I'm gonna do
so.
So I have my surface, and I think it's ready. I don't have anything coming up on my hands when I touch, but I can feel that it's still not dry underneath. And let's do this one because it's really pretty.
Lisa Mansell says, I don't think a music stamp would work, but the sunflower or chrysanthemum might.
Exactly. Those are beautiful. I actually have a video on YouTube using those in this way, but for a different project, Lisa. I want to say I use the chrysanthemum. So you guys see, I'm being super generous, right? I am not like being stingy with the cornstarch at all. And I'm going to take it, and I want to push it in. You want to be careful that you don't push it so far in that it picks up like the back of your stamp, right? You just want it to pick up the front of your stamp. And so can you guys see that? It embossed right in there. I don't know if I didn't push hard enough right there, but I want to show you guys what I did specifically for the magazine holder is I use this piece for my corners. So I put this on the corners like this. And I push that in. And then I use this piece to kind of make a border. And I just went from, the beginning of this little corner piece. You kind of have to put on your mold hat when you're doing this because you're building out these flourishes to create, like, you're building a design, right? So the design isn't there already. You're actually building it out. And so this is how I built out my trim around. Like that. I went in that one a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys something. So this one right here, you guys, you see how I crossed over into my corner a little bit? And I don't like that. So you know what I can do? I can just take my dusted plastic here. Oh, I forgot to do that. Dang it. And I can go over that. And I can just basically erase it and restamp it. But let me show you guys something. I skipped a step. So I really want this to look like leather, right? And right now, there's like a kind of a grainy texture to it, and that's not what I want. So I'm going to take my dusted plastic, and I'm going to scrunch it up a little bit too, because I want to have wrinkles in my leather, because leather has wrinkles, right? And I'm going to make it kind of wrinkly, and then I'm going to put it over the top, and I'm just going to rub that into my leather. I'm going to get rid of that stuff I've done already too. So if you make a mistake, you can just use this plastic to go in and kind of erase that mistake. So if there's something you don't like, you're not stuck with it as long as your product is still wet or damp underneath. So the top isn't wet. The top is pretty dry, but underneath is still pretty wet. And I do like the wrinkles because I want wrinkles to show up in my piece when I pull this off. So I end up with this really smooth finish rather than having it look all grainy. And I have these beautiful wrinkles that are in there. And this is drying really fast. I gotta get busy. But you guys see how I was able to erase, right? Everything that I've done before by simply putting this over it. So if you make an indentation and you don't like it, you can just go in and erase it. And so can you guys see those wrinkles right here that are from the plastic? That's what I want because worn leather is not like perfectly smooth, right? It has character. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to dust this really generously, and I'm going to start over.
The last corner the wrong.
Did I? I put that one the wrong way too, didn't I, Chris? Well, I'm just going to put all of them the wrong way. You do want to be consistent, right? We'll do it both ways. That way you guys can decide which way you like. Curled up or curled down. And so these two are with it curled out. And then we're going to put the line here. And these two are with it curled in. And we're going to put the line there. And so this is how I made the edge of my book. And you guys can see that, right? And then you can go in the middle and just put something pretty. We'll just put this. Or maybe, we'll put this for now. Or maybe I could do something like 2 pieces that are pretty. And then I could go in later and put a title with a transfer or something, right? I just really want to use this piece. But these are really pretty because you can put them together to create different kinds of designs. And then you have where you have that texture is it's debossed. I guess it's not embossed into your texture. And then you'll want to let this dry completely before you start painting. So I did this for the sake of demonstration, but I've actually done all of these steps already on our project piece. And so now we just get to paint. And so I did use, what's the name of that stamp again? I keep wanting to say Reverie, and that's not right. Oh, it is. I used a Reverie stamp, and I know that I should have made my book like facing down, but I'm being a bit of a rebel because I used the lady with the wings here, and then I just used a decorative piece here, and then I went around the edges with my little corner pieces and my lines. And you guys will be able to see it in just a minute. Let me put my little pieces away so I don't lose anything. So I used this piece right here is what I used across the top of my box. And then my corner and my edge is what I used to do the edging around the edge of my box. And then this was just a decorative little piece that I used there.
And Doyle says she has wrinkles and willing to share.
I like wrinkles. Well, because we're trying to imitate old leather, right? So it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be beautiful. Let me put all this stuff out of the way.
Vicky Valdez Green, Royce, this would make a great class at Camp ELG. Can we talk you into a second class the day after camp?
Oh my God, I'm already teaching the class the day before camp.
That's what she wants today, yeah?
I know. Well, no, yeah. Megan already has the weekend planned out. Y'all know what? I need a Megan so bad. I really do. Okay, so I have mine done, but we all know with the texture mediums, they're really, really absorbent, right? Or really thirsty. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to put a coat, clear coat over the top of this before I even start. I want to save that. Let me see. Megan sent me some varnish to try. So I'm going to try this one. Am I almost out of paintbrushes? How is that even possible? So, oh, that's George in the backyard. I'm like, who is in the backyard? We are going to be having a giant yard sale, you guys, next weekend.
We've been saying that for 5 weeks.
I know, but George is like actively pulling. He's already emptied one of the thickest storages. And everything must go. So everything is going to be priced to go. So I'm going to go over this with a thin coat. I don't want to fill in all of my areas, right? So I'm going to go over, and I'm just doing this because I want to seal it because I don't want to lose control over how much of the darkness of the glaze that my product is going to absorb. So this is going to close my product so it's not as porous, so that when I go over it, I can still have control over my final finish. I want to say, oh, this is a varnish. And I don't want to fill in all of my details. So I'm being super careful. I think I was afraid that my lady was going to like be too much. So I didn't push her in as hard. But I think it's going to be perfect for this project though. Because she's not going to be, her face is really deep. So I did smush it a little bit too, to lay it down so it'd be a little bit flatter. And why am I going to have a hot flash right now? Why? Why? And I'm just doing a super like quick coat. I'm not being really cautious. I am being cautious not to fill in my details, right? Because we did all that work, so we don't want to fill it up with something.
Darren Moyer asks, is your yard sale local or are you doing a what's it not?
It's going to be local, Karen, because I have a ton of furniture, like a ton. I think I have like, there are at least 5 dressers out there right now that George has already pulled out. And a couple of desks. And I think that's why the one emptied so fast, because it was primarily furniture. And I'll have some smalls too. I was going to try to do the whatnot, but we had a couple of things happen
I didn't really work on it ahead of time because I was busy doing other stuff. And then poor David had a flat tire. So we kind of spent the afternoon dealing with that. Y'all, I'm a mess. So we've had our van for 14 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, before we got married.
Yeah, so the van's 14 years old. So David got a flat tire. So we like plugged up the what do you call those things? The compressor to fill it up, and we took it over. And we tried to put air in it, but the hole was so big that the air was just blowing right out. So then we had to come back to the house because Royce forgot the keys to the car and go back and figure out where the spare was. Because in the 14 years, we've never had to use the spare. So we figured it out. We dropped the spare, got the spare on. The spare was flat, filled up the air on the spare, and then got it to the tire shop. But they were already closed by then. So it was just a day. And there was just no way that we're going to be able to get on to do the whatnot. And that's kind of my life right now. Like today, my list, I had 5 things on my list. And so this is what happens. One of my things was to get an update out to my retailers today, right? So my email was 3 updates, but it's like the second update was I do a quarterly training with my Royce retailers, and this quarter's training is going to be with Dion, and she's going to do like a photography workshop. So I'm like, okay, I'll do that update, but wait, I need to make the graphic for that. So I got to go into Canva, make the graphic, come back, put the graphic in. But wait, I got to set up the Zoom call. Go set up the Zoom. Everything leads to something else. Long story short, story of my life. And then we're expecting our new papers to get in next week, and you guys, I order an insane amount of paper, and we need every inch of the warehouse for that paper. So I just don't know if we're going to have room to have stuff laid out to be shipped out for whatnot and the paper. I keep going back and forth because I want to have a whatnot sale. I just don't have the capacity to do it right now.
There's a wonderful discussion going on right now. Flea says, Ken distracted me. What is price to go? Karen Moyer says, Royce said she's having a yard sale next several weekends.
Well, this coming up, yeah, next weekend.
You're finally having your yard sale
Yeah.
next weekend. Then Chris Schmidt said Karen can rent a U-Haul and take a road trip.
Oh my gosh, that's a serious road trip.
And Doyle says, yeah, yard sale.
Yes, because she lives right across the street, so she can come.
Oh,
I mean, over there, well, a relation, but she lives right up the street. Yes. So I'm just going to dry this top coat that we put on here real quickly so we can get to the fun stuff. I'm all excited. So you guys can see how I got white everywhere because I was doing the texture earlier and I may have been working kind of quickly. And then this did not take, well, I live in Arizona. I did this, I put it out to dry at like 4 o'clock and it's already dried. So it doesn't take a super long time
well,
to dry.
Is that 4 o'clock everywhere or 4 o'clock Arizona?
4 o'clock Arizona. So I put this outside to dry about an hour before we came live.
Well, I'm saying Arizona, dry heat,
Yes.
super hot.
I know.
If you're in Virginia,
yeah, maybe not.
maybe not an hour.
Maybe not.
How long of a drive is it from New York?
I don't know. That'd be a long drive. I wish I would have pushed my lady in a little bit more. I'm sad. Oh well. It'll look like a really old book. Okay. So I have my texture on there. I have my impressions done. And now I'm going to go over this with my paints. I am using Goldenrod from Wise Owl, but you can use a gold color paint and not like metallic gold, but like gold, right? And I'm giving you guys options for other brands, but I really do want to build a kit for this. I should start taking my poll now, huh? Because I think we can leave it on. I don't know what it's going to look like on the thing. Start and show. Oh, it's just there on the side. Okay. So you guys can start. I don't know if you guys should see a poll. I would love to tell you how to leave your answers, but I really don't know. I should have thought of that before I started it. But if there was a kit, like, would you guys actually buy it? That's the question, because we're gonna have to like have it manufactured. So I don't want to do that if we don't have a lot of interest. But it would have the paints and the glazes that you need to be able to do this finish. I'm trying to be careful not to like paint my books over here. And once I get it painted,
it says yes.
You guys will be able to see.
He says 2.
2.
That's the numeral 2.
Oh. Flea makes me laugh because we were so you guys, often when I come up with something new, the ladies in my membership, they get to see me, or they get to see the process, right? Because it's one thing to have an idea, but it's one thing to have it work. And usually you have to like tweak some things, or maybe things don't work exactly the way you thought they would, and you have to work through that. And so we've been kind of doing that for the last month inside the membership. And last week, Flea was like, well, somebody taught me how to mix my own colors, so I can just mix my own colors. I'm gonna miss this. Didn't I bring my mister out? I did. Because I put a clump there. I don't like that.
All right, let's see. Karen Moyer also has the numeral 2. Lisa Vansel, the numeral 1. All right. Oh, this is your
Oh, the poll.
the
Okay.
poll. Now I got it. Let's see. Flea says Flea says no, she wouldn't purchase the kit, but she would take the class. Lisa Vansel, are you going to use a certain paint brand?
Probably Pentart. Not probably. It would be with Pentart. I have a relationship with Megan to be able to make it happen.
Vicky Valdez Green, I'm Techno Challenge. Can't access the poll.
You can just put it in the comments, Vicky.
Yes, he said you can buy a kit. Let's see. We also have Julie Brawley from Arizona. Hi, Julie. And Karen Kobielka up from the Great White North.
Hey.
Karen Moyer, I don't generally buy kits. I buy the stuff I like that's in the kit separately. So right now, would you buy a kit? Is yes, winning 60 to 40.
Okay. And actually, I mean, that's a good question too, is would you guys buy the glazes that we use, or the glaze actually? There are several options, but I decided that sometimes I might do too much. So I'm only using one specific glaze.
Right. I'll say this, as a guy who doesn't do this, I love kits. I think kits are the perfect thing for family gatherings.
Well, this would just be the paint that you need. It wouldn't be like an all-inclusive kit.
I'm always trying to get Royce to do kits.
Yeah, see, he was going to go all in, y'all. Y'all heard him, right?
Telling you.
So I'm going to put my base coat of gold on here. And you guys, you still can't see anything yet, but you'll be able to in a few minutes. And I'm using this. I didn't make a palette. I'm going to cheat. I'll use this for my palette. It'll be fine. Because if I just do the glaze over this, it just doesn't look as rich. And so I always like to include a little burgundy. If you have like Annie Sloan, Primer Red is good. I use Blood Moon from Wise Owl, which worked really well. And I don't know, I'm sure there's a color and some of the other pinks that would work. And so that's my base coat. But now I'm going to go in, and I like to think about like how leather looks and what the characteristics are. And often over the years, leather will be darker in some areas because of oil in our skins, right? From handling the leather. And so I'm going to be using my sea sponge, and I'm going to kind of mix as I go. I'm going to be mixing together this yellow with a little bit of the red to create something that looks kind of like it's pink. but that's going to add a richness to my final.
Colleen says they're getting hit with the heat. 89.6 degrees in Edmonton.
Is that's not, that's
right. That's American.
Oh,
33
okay.
Celsius.
Okay.
That's insane.
I know. You know what? The UK got hit with heat last week too.
I'm assuming it's that super El Nino.
Yes.
We're supposed to get a moisture monsoon, but then I started looking at it. We're really supposed to get the wet in the fall.
Oh.
Yeah,
Not
Arizona's supposed to
necessarily
get it
right
late.
now. And so you guys see how I'm just adding, I feel like I like using the sea sponge because it's random. I didn't clean my sea sponge after my last.
Elizabeth EC says yes, we purchased. Karen Nance, love kids. Oh, she's in Winnipeg, not Edmonton. I apologize.
Yeah.
That's right.
And the thing about having, because if you already have big cans of paint, right? It doesn't make sense for you necessarily. But if you're someone who doesn't like paint furniture and you don't have big cans, then, it doesn't make sense to go out and buy big cans of paint just to be able to do a finish that you may or may not like. So having the smaller sizes is a nice way for you to have what you need and like test it out. And then if it's something that you think you're going to use often, then you can buy larger sizes. And now I'm going to make this even lighter. I'm going to go in with some even lighter pink. I like going in with variations of color because it's just going to add more interest to the final piece. So it's not like a flat color, right? I have multiple colors, and the sponge allows me to layer the colors on top of each other so that the individual colors still show, through the spots where the sponge didn't touch that time when you went in with that specific color. And so that's my base. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to add, I always like to think about, and if you've taken my fabric painting class, you guys have already heard this. I always like to think about how an item has been used over time, right? So if I'm pulling this book out of the shelf a lot, and this is the spine back here, right? Then there's probably going to be a lot of darkness in here from me pulling that book out, because it will have come into a contact a lot with someone's hands, right? So I'm going to go in a little bit and add some color there. And then sometimes I like to add, you guys know I'm all in for a halo, so I'm going to do it. And so that's more aesthetics than anything, but it does add interest to my piece. And depending on how dark or light you want your leather, you would adjust your base coat of paint. And I do want to have like somewhere where it's just super dark. I like having that contrast.
Fleet says, can you remove the polling info so we can see more of the project? Or could you move it up to the upper left-hand corner?
I don't know. Is it in front of the project?
It is at the moment.
I thought it was like way over here on my screen.
No, it's covering up the lower.
Okay. Let me see.
Probably easier for you to move it.
Oh, wait, I can move it. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. Okay.
Yep, that's better.
And if you're watching horizontally, you guys, you can pop out and come back in and go to the Recycled channel, and you can see the landscape version.
If you're on YouTube.
If you're on YouTube, yes. Well, there's no vertical on.
Lisa Mansell suggests maybe a pre-order on it too.
Yeah, we could do that too, Lisa. So I think I'm going to stop there. I think I like that. I'm feeling that vibe right there. So I'm going to dry this.
Jerry Peters says, are we on earlier today? No, we are on at the same time always, which is 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern. But if you're in Arizona, yes.
Yes.
Because we are now on that crazy goofy mountain time that's actually Pacific.
Yes, we are. And so I'm going to dry this and I want to seal this. Now I'm using chalk style paints. And so I'm going to seal this before I move forward. So if you're using a chalk style paint or if you're using a clay based paint, you're going to want to seal in between your paint layers so that A, if it's clay based, you don't want it moving around on you. And then B, we want to close this really porous surface before we go with our glazes so it doesn't get too dark too fast. And so you guys, when I talk about mixed media, you guys will hear me talk about isolation layers. It's something that we already do when we're creating. It just means you're locking away a layer before you continue building, and it gives you more control over your final finish. And you guys still can't see the embossing, can you? You'll be able to see it when we put the glaze on. I mean, and the paint was relatively thin, so it's not like I put it on really thick. So that's going to dry pretty quickly. I'm trying to be careful not to put the box over there in that paint. Let's see. I wanted to try, this is the Soft Touch varnish. This one feels like it's thinner.
Yeah. 190 in London. South Dakota is getting hurricane winds, the Dakotas say. And Melissa Paget says 106 near Sacramento.
Oh. At least you're inland a little bit. Oh, it's not as much humidity. I hear, is that thunder or is that George?
Could be George.
I know.
Or it could be the idiots that drive, that decide they're going to accelerate really, really hard right next to our house.
Yes. We're on like a main vein. It's not really, I mean, it is a main road, but not like, I don't know. It's a main vein for like our neighborhood.
It's a major arterial.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you see me swirling, I'm just wanting to pick up any excess out of my like beautiful artwork that I've put in there. I don't want to fill it up. So I'm laying down my clear coat and then I'm going back in and I'm pulling out anything that's pooling inside of my embossed areas. Or debossed, I should say, is the correct term. That's what Lynn says anyways. I listened because I go back and edit my videos and I say the wrong words all the time. And y'all don't even correct me. I posted a video of me doing, I think it was a cigar box. And I had painted the top red, but I said white in the video, but I didn't hear myself say white. And nobody corrected me. I guess you guys just know what I'm talking about, huh? Oh, I have some beautiful wrinkles on here too. I'm excited that I was able to get those. And I was able to get those by using the saran wrap. So the saran wrap does two things. It really smooths out the surface, right? So it doesn't look textury. It looks like flat and smooth. And it helps me to make some really beautiful wrinkles so that I really am replicating leather, the texture. So I'm going to dry this and then we'll go in with the glaze. I almost cannot wait to get to the glaze. Can you guys tell? Hello, Kim. You know what, Colleen? Colleen's asking where I got the magazine holder. This one I picked up at the thrift store, but I want to say that they have them at like IKEA. I'm pretty sure that this one came from IKEA. It looks like it did anyways. And I saw that somebody on Facebook was making them. You know how they have the CNC machines? Somebody was making the magazine holders. I forget who it was though. If you guys remember, help me out.
I think they have them on Amazon, don't they? I don't know if they're wood.
Oh yeah, that's true. They probably have them on Amazon too.
Yeah, because I've seen lots of storage options.
I really do use these. Like that's why I picked it up from the thrift store, is because I use them. I still read magazines. I like them a lot. And I have old magazines that I still go through for ideas. HTH. You know what, Catherine? You're on the vertical. If you pop out and go to my channel, you can go back to the regular view, and so you can see the video. Because for some reason the poll is still on the vertical one, which that's weird. I don't know why it's like that.
Schmidt says the boss is pressed into the surface, embossed is raised on top of the surface.
Okay. So I don't know why it's still there. That is so weird.
Did you hear?
I heard, baby. Yes. We'll just hide the poll. It's fine. So I am just going to dry this. I do want to dry this really well before I start going in with my my glaze. Now the last one I used was the Soft Touch, and it is like dead flat. Very interesting.
So I guess it's not deboss, it's deboss.
Yeah. It's hard to get the whole project into the window for the vertical, just because it's wider than the, you know, the view is. But if you go on the regular one, you can see everything.
Can I tell a Royce gave me side-eye story?
What did I give you side-eye for? You know what, Colleen? This one is wood, but you could, if it was plastic, no one would know. Especially if you use the Booker, what is this called? You know, if you use this on the front of it, because this is with the new, we did this one week before last using the new mold from IOD, right? And we made these. And then this side is, I know you recognize the paper, we decoupage this side. And so today we're using this side. So if it were plastic, I mean, you could still make it look fabulous. No one would ever know, Colleen. Okay. So now I'm going to go in with my glaze. And this one is the palisander. I don't know how you say that. And I am going to glaze this over. And glazing, you guys, you really just have to be really, you got to feel your way through it, right? If it's too much, you can lift it, or you can mist and move it around a little bit more. Because you know, like the finish that you're going for. And so you may want to start thinner because you can always build up from there. I'm gonna mess that, but it moves around a little bit more. And
Flea says, be careful of the paint on your table.
Thank you, Flea. I'm looking at it, girl. I'm keeping my eye out for it. I don't want nobody having a heart attack over there by themselves. Oh, look at those cracks right there. Isn't that wonderful? I'm going to try not to push glaze into those cracks. Maybe I do want to push glaze in. We'll try both and see which one we like. And so I am going to go in and wipe some of this back. I don't want to wipe all of it back. The reason why I had David bring my magic eraser is because it's really good when you want to wipe back, but you want to leave whatever you have in within the in your recesses, because these microfiber cloths just reach into the recesses and pull stuff out. And so I will use that sponge probably at the end. So that's my first layer. And I'm thinking I'd like for it to be a little bit deeper than that, but I'd rather put on thin layers. Let's dry this layer and then we'll go in and put on another layer. I don't want to see any marks from my towel though. So I'm just going in and kind of dabbing anywhere where I see like drag marks from where I, drag my towel across the surface. So I'm going to dry this and then we'll go in. My lady really isn't showing up. I'm so sad. I should have pushed her in there a little deeper. This one I did a really deep indentation with. Now, if I were home, I probably wouldn't rush my layers as quickly, as far as letting things dry. Running my hands over this, I can tell there's still moisture under there, and this is going to take a while to dry completely. But we're only live together for a little bit, so that's my first layer. Let's go over with another layer, and I'm going to mist this again.
Lee says she uses 90-grade cheesecloth to remove.
I know I probably could use something else, but my shop towels are these microfiber cloths. I smushed her face. Maybe I should have left it deeper. And you can decide like how dark you want your leather to be, right? You guys can see I could have stopped at that first layer. And like, if you prefer that, I think I'm going to leave this part up here lighter just so I can show the different options. Having the water on there helps me move it around without leaving brush marks too. Let me do it with my eraser. Oh, I know you guys probably see it sitting on my table somewhere, don't you? What do I do with it? I need it. Maybe do you see my eraser? Well, there it is.
Big of erasers.
No, this white. I don't want my stuff to dry before I use it. Then you're going to get an entirely different look. So I just misted this with some water. And I just want to show you guys that you can, this one to me, it'll pick up what's on top. Oh, there's her face. And it'll leave, I waited too long. It'll leave what's in the recesses. You know what I'm saying? So I'm able to go over the top with this and still preserve the glaze that's in the recesses. Unlike the microfiber cloth that keeps on reaching in there and pulling stuff out. And I was panicking a little bit because I don't want to let my glaze dry before I go in with this. And I'm wetting this. I don't want to use it dry. Sorry, I need to see. I always try to keep it flat so you guys can see, but then I wish I would have pushed my lady in a little bit more, but I guess she'll be subtle. So you can pull as much as you want to pull off. You can leave as much as you want to leave on there. I don't want to have any like brush marks. So I'm just like going in and adding anywhere where I see brush marks or marks from my sponge. I'm going to dry this. Can you guys see her face there? I should have pushed her in there a little bit deeper. This one is super obvious, right? Because I pushed it in really deep. And you can really see that one. And you can really see the corners there because I pushed those in really deep too. I'm going to dry this. And then I think I want to do one last layer of the glaze, but I want it to be like a really thin layer. And the reason why I want to do one last layer is I just want to unify everything. Even though it looks, I don't want it to look same because it's supposed to be an old leather, but I do want it to look unified. So I'm going to go through and dry this layer. And then I'm going to take some of the glaze and really thin it out and do one last layer over everything so that all my colors are unified. '90 grade. Am I stressing you guys out, Lisa? Because I'm close to that paint. Here, I'll move.
That was a while ago.
Oh, I know. Oh, well, you hadn't said anything, so I wasn't sure.
Say it again.
Nothing. Nothing. Oh, I love this way too much, you guys. I want to play some more. Like, I want to, I wish I would have pressed her in more. But the edges are super clear though. And this one little random thing right here is clear. But I think we could explore this idea some more. What do you guys think? Should I spend more time on this or no? I mean, not just this project, but this process. And I love that all of it looks so different. We're going to take a close look after I get this unifying layer down, so you guys can see all the nuance, because there's a lot going on, and I don't know if it always shows on the camera. Now, leather generally has a little bit of a sheen to it, so I think I'm going to use, what am I going to use? Because all I have in here is matte varnish, and I haven't been using this because I'm at the bottom. And if you guys use a lot of matte products, you guys know often when you get to the bottom, especially if you haven't been shaking your container often, you can have more mattifiers on the bottom. So if you've ever worked on a project and it's turned out cloudy and you're not sure why, that may be why. If you're to the bottom of your project and you haven't been real consistent about shaking it every time you use it, you can end up with more mattifiers on the bottom. And I don't do a good job of shaking mine every time, so I know that's a pretty good chance that that's the case. And I want to seal this, but I don't really use matte, I don't think.
So everybody says, yes, keep going, want to see it. Thinking this could work on the sides of the floor. Oh, so yes.
So I have some gloss medium here, so I'm gonna just use that because it's what I have. I wish I had a bowl or something, but I do not. And the reason why I'm going to mix my glaze in with this. I just want to thin it out a little bit, right? I want to make it so it's not as dense. I want to thin out those pigments so it's not as dark. I probably shouldn't use gloss though. What happens? I'll put a little bit of matte in there. Look, I'm over here being a scientist. Hopefully I don't have chemicals mixing together that don't like each other. But we'll see what happens. That's a little bit more than I meant to mix, and I'm just thinning it out because I really do want this last coat to just act as a unifier. If you've had colors, if you've done my mixing color class, we've talked about how you can add a little bit of the same color to all of your colors, right? To make them more harmonious. And that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm just doing it optically because I'm putting a transparent color over everything. So this will unify everything so it looks like it goes together, even though it's not the same color. And I'm putting this on full strength. I didn't put any water. And I guess I did need all that. And I'll dry this and then we'll take a closer look. Although, you guys know I want to keep going. What time is it?
6:50.
Okay. Let's do one more thing before we call it wrapped. And this is what I'm gonna do, y'all, because I know y'all over there stressing out. I'm gonna put this right here. Look, right over that paint. Okay. This is my last paintbrush. Do I want to put this in there? I think I'm safe to do that. Let's dry this and then, oh, I love this so much. Doesn't that look like so rich? Of course, mine looks like a little distressed because that's what I like. And you can see that it's super dark, right, on that back, on the edge. But then it's lighter here at the top in some areas. And then it's darker in other areas.
Chris says you'll probably end up with a satin finish.
That's what I'm hoping for, Chris. Something in the middle, just because the gloss medium is like glossy, like super glossy. Glossy.
And Mary Beth Parma says great to core papers.
Huh? Oh, more papers. Oh, maybe she heard me mention that we're gonna be, the new release is coming. It's on the way. And if you're a retailer and you're on tonight, I did send out an email with updates, you guys. It's a long email, but I promise it's worth the reads. And I tried to divide it up too. So, you know, you can kind of pick and choose what's important to you as far as what do you want to know. And then I kind of want to do one more thing. I have my pale gold. You guys know it's my fave. I feel like we need a little bit of metallic on here. I know the ones we looked at didn't have any metallic, but like we can do whatever you want, right? Let's look again and see, like, I don't know if we got something close. So this was my inspiration for those of you who came in later. I looked at, these are not my photos, they're off of Pinterest. I looked at photos on Pinterest for inspiration for tonight's project. And so these are kind of like my inspiration for what we're doing. And this is why I wanted to deboss, because I saw probably this one is the one that's probably the closest to what I was able to accomplish tonight, right? I was able to deboss using the stamps and then add the glazes to be able to create this kind of faux leather with really cool details that are debossed into there. So when you do yours, this one is pushed in really deeply. It's really noticeable right away. Our angel is a lot more subtle, right? And so you can see the top of her wing right there. And you can see a little bit of the details from that part of the stamp. Her body is like right here, but it's a lot more subtle. And then these are some flowers that are on that stamp. And so you can see those, they're a little bit deeper than she is. So you can decide kind of how deep or how noticeable you want your details to be. What do I want to do? I'm going to use a little bit of gloss gel with my pale gold. And this is Posh pigments that I'm using, and the color of this one is pale gold. And so I'm mixing it with that brush, but I'm going to need a much skinnier brush. I'm going to stress myself out right now. I don't know why I started doing this, but I can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. I'm just kidding. And the cool thing about this is you can make your metallic paint as opaque as you want. If I want this to be more like a glaze, I would use less clear coat. If I wanted to be more opaque, I could use more of the pigments. You guys can see what I'm doing, huh? So I'm just going into the debossed area. Because I feel like, I mean, my book didn't have any gold on it, but we've seen a lot of books that have gold, right?
Johnny Doyle, would this process work on a heavy paper?
On a what paper?
Would this process work on a heavy paper?
It would. This product is really stiff though, so I don't know how it would work over time if your paper wasn't mounted, if that makes sense. Although we've been playing with the modeling paste, and the light modeling paste stays flexible. So that might be a better option. Paper.
To practice this in the recycled archer.
You could, but like I said, you want to use the light modeling paste. That's going to be better because it's going to stay flexible. So it won't like chip off your paper. You know what I mean?
Because you always want to practice rather than commit to the item you want.
Yes. I might have the wrong brush. I don't want to change brushes now. What do you guys think about the gold? I feel like it belongs there, right? I'm going to try a line brush and see if that's a little bit easier. These are the long, skinny brushes, are the ones that sign makers use. Not that I know how to do that, but I watch them do it.
Lee said she did a similar look on a hardcover book.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful too. Okay, I like the line brush better. It's goofier. And you guys know this is one of those projects where I can just keep going, right? But I'm not going to. We'll get the gold on here and then we finish. And it's still a little tacky. It's not really dried yet. So like I said, if you guys are working at home, you may want to give yourself more time between steps, right? So that your surfaces can dry. But you could take a regular old magazine holder, right? And then this one up here, there wasn't a lot of the texture stuff. So my indentation wasn't really deep up here. But I can still see. Oh, I love this way too much. And so that's my project for today. I mean, you could drop gold into anything you have in the middle too, but I think I'm going to stick to just the edges. And then once this was completely dry, like you could even do this, like if you're working on a hardcover book, you could let this completely dry, and then I could go in with a transfer to even put a title on my book, right? Or like volume, whatever I could put right here. But this is our magazine holder project. I'm still gonna do something to the front, but we're not, I mean, I'll just do something, I don't know what. So
yes, can you antique the gold?
Yeah, you could antique the gold. You could go back over with some more of the glaze if you wanted to knock the shininess back a little bit so that it was more consistent with like an old book. Absolutely. But this is what we made with our bookish mold. We're using the same concept, right? And we went in and we added some transfers on here. I could keep going with this. I could add some more stuff to this one. And then this is this side where we decoupaged. And so I just think it's super cute. I got some medium on there today when I was working. So I'll probably just glaze that and pretend like it's just damaged or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But be careful when you're working on your on your opposite sides. I was so excited about this, and I'm super excited about this. This looks so rich, and this really is a perfect color brown to me for what I like to create with a leather look. Because if you use a brown that's too cool, it falls really flat, and you just don't get the same richness that you get when you use a warmer brown. And I don't know if you guys can see the wrinkles in the leather. Can you guys see that? The wrinkles that we created with the saran wrap. I'm just having a hard time on the camera. It just doesn't look as pretty as it does in person. But that's all I have today. Unless we had any more questions. Flea, me too. I mean, I am surprised, but I'm not. Because as soon as I saw it, like my brain started generating ideas. But yes, I really do love the bookish mold. And I'm going to see myself using it a lot of different ways too. I'm super excited. I pulled out a letter box. You guys remember the letter filer box from back in the day? I found a really thick one. So that's going to be a project pretty soon. But that's all I have. Unless you guys have any questions. It's Beautimous. Thank you, Chris. Again, you know, this is one of those things where I had an idea, but I still had to do some experimenting to be able to get to the finish line with this idea. We probably spent two of our lab days inside of my membership playing with this process. And my members who are here, they probably noticed I still did a few things differently tonight. So if you have an idea and it doesn't work the first time, like, don't be discouraged. Just figure out like what shifts or pivots you need to make, and then you can try again and you'll get it eventually. But tomorrow I will be live working in my Royce journal. I'm going to do something a little bit different tomorrow. I know that we usually do the mixed media mashup game, which I love doing, but what am I doing tomorrow? Because I'll be working with the pastel ground tomorrow. We'll do a mashup tomorrow. And then next Monday, I want to do an intentional project because I do want to show you guys that I did put some things inside of your journals with the intention that they would inspire you to experiment. And so we'll do that next week. But for tomorrow, we'll be playing the mixed media mashup game, and I'll be going over how you can use pastel ground on your pages. And I'm going to bring out like some pastels and some pan pastels and some different supplies for us to play with tomorrow morning. So I will be here for Mad Scientist Monday tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Until then, you guys have a blessed week or a blessed evening if I'm going to be here tomorrow. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining. You guys know that like every great discovery is done through experimentation. So please remember to make time in your practice to experiment, to play, to ask yourself what would happen if, because where experimentation goes, creativity follows. I'll see you guys next time. Have a blessed night.